Welcome to the Creative Condition podcast with me, Ben Talon, illustrator and creativity coach, founder of the Creative Condition, artist and writer. I bring 20 years of creative industry experience and a lifelong love of creativity, a fundamental pillar of human happiness, to you through ongoing personal exploration and the shared experiences of others. You'll get a nourishing mix of creative industry professionals and people far and wide using creativity in ways that can take our learning to the next level so we can maximise our unique blend. The show's been supported from day one by Illustration X, a tremendous illustration agency representing a shining global roster of illustrators and animators over at illustrationx.com. The music for the show is by Dirty Freud, who you can listen to now on all good streaming services. And for everything else, for my coaching, resources and inspiration, head to thecreativecondition.com. Welcome back to a new instalment of the Creativity Diary here on the Creative Condition podcast. My name is Ben Talon. I am the host of the Creative Condition podcast, the founder of the Creative Condition, a creativity coach, illustrator, writer, and other stuff that I can't be bothered going into. Welcome back. If you're a regular listener, thank you. As ever, a joy to have you here listening. If you're new to the show, welcome. This is a diary installment where I write and I muse and I consider creativity from whimsical, deep, silly, aggravated angles. You name it, I get into it. It's thoughts ongoing, so it's a more casual episode. I break up the guest episodes and the monologues with this reading, so I hope you enjoy what you hear today and it provokes a few thoughts and some questions in your mind to help you carry forward and develop your own creativity. The show is supported as ever by Illustration X, founding sponsor, illustrationx.com, for a global range of illustrators, animators, artists of all kinds, and awesome work they're doing for the creative industry at large. Please do consider supporting the Ukrainian Institute, ui.org.ua. They're supporting an embattled and brave Ukrainian creative community during a horrific time of war. And last but very much not least, newest to the show, Paradiso Institute. These guys are doing some wonderful, wonderful work. They are banging the drum. Maybe that's the term, banging the drum for bold leadership in the creative industry, which they feel is lacking in these times of pressure financially, algorithmic squeezes. There's a lot of reasons why there's maybe not the big, bold, brave, to quote Alan McGee, bonkers, brave, fuck you creativity out there in the world like there once was. And they're trying to help. They're trying to bring together coaching and ideas and events and all kinds of crackling, electric, sparkling acts. So go and check them out. You can go head over now to the Paradiso Institute at paradisoinstitute.org. Great stuff. Founded by Hector Ayuso and Marco Fan. These guys need no introduction. Go and look them up. Hector founded Paradiso and Off Festival many years ago. And it built his life around creativity. I wrote Hector's biography recently, The Reason You're Doing It. And it was an incredibly inspiring process. So that's it for the shout-outs. Wouldn't be possible without them. I'm going to get into the diary in a moment. If you want to work with me one-to-one, if you need something more bespoke, if you need to reach out and need some guidance, a thought partner, someone to question you, reframe your problems, help you to become the author of your own life, I can do that. I love doing it. I have an offer called the Pit Stop, which is a deep dive session where we work together for half a day. We get into all of your stuff. No stone is unturned. And then I come back and help you with sign-off notes, and we'll work together, we'll draw, we'll sketch together, we will get you talking about the things you don't really get the chance to externalise, to understand where you are and get you set on the right path. I have smaller sessions for less budget. I have a storytelling offer, which is more premium, but we will write your story. Is it a book? Is it a personal venture? Because I have the internal and the external. You can check all this out at thecreativecondition.com/coach. Anyway, tell a friend. Please do review, rate, subscribe to the show. It really, really helps. I do need the support. It's a smallish podcast. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm a believer that the arts and creativity have a pivotal role to play as we move forward in this turbulent world. Anyway, let's get into it. The Creativity Diary. It's been a while. Let's find out where we are. 21st of April 2026, the AI Ignoramus. I might be setting myself up for a huge fall. It's likely that I am, like the guys who rejected computers, the internet, or Photoshop. I've used ChatGPT about 9 times. Each instance was considered and immensely helpful towards big mental and career challenges in my life. Not once have I generated a jokey image or a recipe suggestion. The primary reason for my blanket and potentially catastrophic rejection of AI in my life and creative practice is ideological, specifically born of the environmental cost. I've had to work through a lot of despair, anger and sadness that this powerful, resource-hungry tech was released to everyone without a broader consultation, not to mention the ready acceptance of it by many intelligent people. I've interviewed scientists about breakthroughs in machine learning. This tier of the tech excites me. I'm not against AI. Positive News magazine ran a wonderful feature on uses, including drones to help indigenous people in the Amazon rainforest track illegal logging in real time. This is magnificent. Astounding progress. What's not progress is someone editing their head because a rogue spotlight hit the glaring truth of a receding hairline, or kids being depicted naked by their antagonists for bullying purposes. There were many discussions that morality suggested we should have had before this stuff was released, but greed, ego and vested interests ensured we didn't. As a father of 2, I found myself unable to see what whichever large language model spits out. Knowing of the intense strain on water resources stops that, and any other arbitrary or even better use of the tech. Now the concern becomes about how far adrift I'll be in a society that didn't share my ideological standpoint and pressed on without me. A man with a fork in a world of soup, to quote Noel Gallagher's assessment of Liam's temperament. A man with an ink pen, paper and handwritten client letters in a world of instant genius might seem laughable, but I'm sticking to my guns here. It might be that I'm obsolete in several years' time. But I also believe it's possible that the whole thing spirals out of control. The internet becomes the domain of the machines where we no longer know what's real and we all have to go analogue in little The Matrix-style hideaways. If so, then I'm a visionary because I never left. On a basic mental health level, I don't want to be on screens any more than I have to. So I'll take notes and take longer. For now, I'll get on drawing and monitor the water use situation. 23rd of April 2026, an old friend. I caught a train to Bath for the day. Needed to go somewhere out of town, and there are gorgeous bookshops all over Bath. I wasn't feeling quite right. Underlying anxiety as I wandered the streets, peering into windows, going in and browsing comics, old volumes of science books. I called a friend, and we talked for an hour as I hopped between varying pockets of mobile phone reception. In a cafe, I fed off the ephemeral clinks and chatter to finalise a story I helped a client write. Their story, part of the new coaching offer to hand people a compass and set of values through narrative alignment. Eventually, I felt a little calmer, and right before I made my way back to the station, I stumbled across another second-hand bookshop I hadn't seen before. And in the window was an old friend. The black ink handprint and their eye painted in a thick brush, bridged by a stencilled TO2. Hand to Eye is a collection of contemporary illustration from 2002, edited by Angus Hyland and Rowan Bell, and it sat on the tables in our illustration degree course for 3 years, between 2003 and 2006. I never owned it back then, because my housemate had it, but it got thumbed into submission as we fawned over the beautiful work of people we saw as gods. These were those, them, that lot, the people who had what we wanted more than anything else. So I stepped inside, reached into the window display, snatched it up, and after 2 debit card rejections and a cash machine dash, handed over £6.50. In the street, I bumped into people, holding not a smartphone, but a big book, because, like my childhood self, who had to put on the new Leeds United shirt the moment it fell into my possession, I couldn't wait. I thumbed it in public. I thumbed it on the station platform. I didn't even have the dignity to go to the bathroom to do it. The magic returned. My earlier malaise, already in retreat, ran for the hills as Olivia Kugler, Lucinda Rogers, Tom Gold, David Folvari, Isabel Bostwick and more swung their big, inky lightsabers and wizard staffs inside my soul. What was beautiful about this, to me, was the certainty I felt of my love for art, for illustration, for storytelling, for play, and for something bigger than us, which we all serve. When fear grips, as it does in turbulent times, it's so easy to forget how much this means, how fundamental it is for the human condition, how we all need to be connected to something that leads us forward, illuminated in the dark. 26th of April 2026. Unafraid of disorder. I've been helping a friend and peer write his book. It's magnificent. And while proofreading one of his stories tonight, I adored the phrase, unafraid of disorder. He used it to describe an agency who were just that, ready to permit mess in the pursuit of something interesting, something different and meaningful. It feels like the whole creative industry could benefit from such fearlessness. What we can't be certain about, we fear and seek to neuter. That's the human way. But we're shambolic creatures who need to walk wobbly lines to get anywhere worth going to, don't we? Thank you for listening, guys. That's the latest instalment of the Creativity Diary, which you can read at thecreativecondition.com/the diary. There's the entire archive up there if you want to delve into this rambunctious, playful mind that spends a lot of its time around creatives, observing creativity, interviewing people. It's gleaned from absolutely everywhere, and I hope it will help you to develop your own creative practice, because that's what I'm trying to do here as part of this mission, The Creative Condition. You can see all the work collected at thecreativecondition.com. You'll find the archive of the podcast. If you want the entire archive, that's on all the platforms, the Spotify, the Apple Podcasts, all the usuals. Go and have a look. I'm very passionate about this. I have books, The Creative Condition and Champagne and Wax Crayons. You can grab them either at bentalonwriter.com in the shop or at thecreativecondition.com, also in the shop. 2 shops out there. You can also get my fiction work over at bentalonwriter.com if you're interested in something a little naughtier. But the show's going to continue weekly as ever. I love doing this. Do get in touch, Ben at bentalon.com, if you want to pick me up on anything, if you want to share anything, if you would like to work one-to-one through my coaching program, then please get in touch there. I can help you elevate your creativity, your spirits, and get you telling the right story, the right narrative, trading from it. Nice one, guys. Thank you to the show supporters, illustrationx.com, founding sponsor. Great illustration agency representing all kinds of artists all over the globe and supporting the creative industry at large. Also supporting the creative industry at large are the Ukrainian Institute, who you can help support the embattled creative community in Ukraine in this time of war, ui.org.ua, and the Paradiso Institute, who are shouting for bolder, braver creative industry leadership. They're doing it in an inspiring way through the festival in Merida in Mexico, through coaching, through all kinds of stuff that you can see now at paradisoinstitute.org. That's it from me. Back next week with a monologue piece. I've written a piece called I Am an Artist. It's a sort of breakthrough in my mind. I'm going to be bringing you that. And then we've got some fantastic new guests coming up on the show to follow. It's all going on. Keep in touch, guys. Leave a rating, a review, or a subscription, please. If you get a moment, and tell a friend. Any of those actions massively help me champion creativity, which is what I'm trying to do. Lovely. Nice to spend some time with you. Have a great week, guys. Stay creative.